Okay, hey everybody. I am here with a collective reading for all of us, inspired by my new deck, The Animal Apothecary by Kara Elizabeth. So we'll start off with this and we'll see just what comes out. I'm leaving this open. I'm just asking Spirit here to please guide us and provide a reading for the collective for whatever we need right now. I'll title the video later, depending on how this reading goes. Okay, Spirit, please, what is the message for the collective right now? What is the message for the collective? Okay. All right. We have got just trust. A little shoot here. Not sure what animal that is. I'll have to check. Some kind of burrowing animal, it looks like. Then we've got a dragonfly here, and it says, better than you can imagine. Okay, I love this. These two coming out together. So that we can get a taste of this deck, let me read from the guidebook for at least one of them. We'll do just trust. Yeah, it's a little longer, so I'll just do one of them. Oh, it's a mole. Of course it's a mole. Silly me. So it says, mole not only sees poorly, but also hears and smells poorly too. The one ability he can rely on to guide him where he wants to go is his sensitivity towards vibrations. This is why mole comes to us. Pardon me. This is why mole comes to teach us the medicine of absolute trust, even in the darkness. When you receive this card, it is a tremendous confirmation that you will find what you seek. Not only will things work out better, but they will also be better than what you can fathom. Look at that. And that came out right next to it. Okay. Better than you can fathom with your current understanding of reality. Right now, it is of the utmost importance to have unwavering faith. Even if you do not see proof of any progress, go forward. Do not aim for perfection because it will only block you from success. Do what you intend to do, even if you may feel scared. Something that deeply resonates with your heart is awaiting you. The image of the sapling in the card represents your stage in the game. You have no idea if you will blossom into the great oak, the poetic rosebush, or perhaps the majestic redwood, but something profound is meant for you, and you must withstand the waiting game. You must see your wish without seeing it, and hear your desire without hearing it. You must be your fullest self without even knowing what that looks and feels like. What you want also wants you, but you must walk toward it with steadfast conviction. This card is a mighty confirmation. Feel a breath of relief and get excited. Mole's medicine is simple yet deep. His medicine is letting you know it is safe to trust. It's going to happen for you. And victory was on the bottom. No joke. No joke. So that's amazing. You know what I was really picking up on here was this message that came through about sensitivity. Like, I think there's some of us that feel sometimes, especially, I'm sure a lot of people could resonate with this who are checking in here, those who are really spiritually minded. Sometimes it's our sensitivity. We can be especially sensitive. We can be especially empathic. And sometimes it feels like a curse, not a gift, you know? And I think there's some message here about understanding your sensitivity as a gift. But yeah, there's obviously a huge message that came through a few times about something turning out better than you could have imagined. Better than we could have imagined, right? This is a collective read. Big message about faith and trust. Big message about gestation here with this little pod. You know, something is in development for us right now. For you, for us. Something is gestating, developing, okay? Can't really be seen yet. Like, imagine if we didn't have ultrasounds and we had to rely on there was a point in time in history we certainly did not have ultrasounds, and we had no idea, you know, what it looked like with a baby developing. Not much of an idea anyway, but inside, you know, but just look what comes out, the end result. It's this human, little human, you know. There's that kind of energy happening here. Have to trust the process. Okay, what else? Yeah, look, isn't that so? It's a little growth. Yeah, like it's just so synchronistic, this mess, these two cards that have come out. Okay. And for those that are curious, it's card 32 and 39. I'm going to use the Osho Zen Tarot now. Spirit, what is this collective message for us? What is the collective message for us? What is the collective message for us? Oh, so see, I'm so, yeah, I felt that message I was picking up at the beginning about sensitivity just really got confirmed because the Page of Cups just came out. And for me, the Page of Cups is like, this one of the most sensitive energies in the tarot, you know? And there's this message here of understanding from the Osho Zen. Yeah, the Page of Cups is just how I feel like it's this energy of wearing your heart on your sleeve, and what a gift it is to be able to do that, even though it does make us vulnerable in a lot of ways, you know. Then we've got the Eight of Wands with traveling. Actually, I'm going to take quite a few more, I think. Then we've got the Three of Pentacles with guidance. The source was on the bottom, but let me just keep going here. I feel like I want at least two more of these. What is the message here, please, Spirit? For the collective? What's this message for the collective right now? Okay, I got two more. Yeah, we got consciousness. So this is the Ace of Swords. Encourage another sprout. And I love this depiction of the courage because it's, you know, this flower pushed through the concrete, you know, and I, you know, when you see that in nature, it blows my mind. And I've literally seen like mushrooms sprouting from like concrete driveways, but I've seen, you know, not fungus, but plants also doing things like that. It's just, it blows my mind. So there's so much message here about resilience and like perseverance and determination. Like, I think the Eight of Wands here is, there's a lot of really gentle energy here. But this, even with the Three of Pentacles and the Ace of Swords, like it feels, you know, it's guidance and consciousness and is all this unseen kind of energy, you know. But then there's this like steadfastness, moving forward direction coming from the Eight of Wands. Like the Wands energy has shown up here. And I feel determination more than I feel anything else from this card right now. So the message for the collective right now is about the guidance that comes from within, you know, like I know sometimes we just need to see some kind of proof or evidence in the real world that our efforts are going to pay off, or they're starting to pay off. Like we need to see the sprout, you know, like we plant the seed and we're like, oh my gosh, I just need to see the tiniest of sprout just to renew my faith. But sometimes we don't get that, and we really have to just wait. And I feel like there's a lot of people in the collective right now that are probably in this period. And I think there is just a strong message here about believing in what feels strongly. Like even if we start to doubt, you know, because this can create a lot of doubt when we get into these places. We see no evidence of what we feel like is coming, or what we're putting our energy into, or, you know, whatever we're trying to have faith about. We see no evidence in the real world, and that takes it creates a lot of doubt. You know, and it could be something that started off with us feeling so passionate about, so sure of. We could have been so sure when we planted that seed, but because we don't see the sprout soon enough, all this doubt gets created and we start doubting that we did the right thing. Sorry, I'm just noticing you can't see the courage card. Yeah, we just start, you know what I mean? It's natural. It's hard not to lose faith when things, you know, take a long time to start showing up. But there's this message here about holding true to and remembering how strongly the guidance felt at one time, you know, remembering how strong and sure we maybe felt at one time about this, even if it wasn't the super strongest of things, even if you had a bit of doubt when you planted the seed, it's like, no, you had enough of assurance coming from yourself to plant it in the first place. And I think there's some message here about connecting with that, like not forgetting that and reconnecting with that and trying to feel that again and just remembering that guidance. I want to maybe just clarify this Page of Cups a little bit. Please clarify this Page of Cups. Exhaustion. Yeah, I think maybe some of us are feeling that way. This Nine of Wands energy, like, oh my gosh, how much more energy can I put into this? How much more can I wait? How much more can I withstand this? And it might not even be for some people, there might be real life things going on that are causing exhaustion. I love, we've got another page at the bottom, the Page of Wands. Anyway, this could be fair exhaustion. Do you know what I mean? Like, we're actually putting so much work into something. And sometimes it's just emotional, spiritual exhaustion. Like, how long can I hold the faith for? How long can my soul be suffering or my heart be suffering or whatever, you know? Regardless, though, there's an energy of, yeah, exhaustion here, obviously, with this Nine of Wands showing up. And there's just this beautiful, trusting energy with this. I think it's just what I was picking up on before. I feel like it's just a confirmation about reconnecting with this, the trust that we did have at one point. We had some kind of trust. We put some kind of faith into that seed that we planted, you know, some kind of belief into it. And we just need to remember that. I think that will help us get through the exhaustion. I think that it really is a confirmation of what I was getting before. I feel called to read from the Osho Zen right now for this card. So let me just grab the guidebook. 1 second. Okay, I have it. Let's do it. Although, okay, we've got cups. I don't know if any of you have the Osho Zen, but the way they organize the book is it's a little wackadoodle, in my opinion. I wish they would just keep all of the suit together, but they separate the court cards, and even the way that the whole book is organized is just, it's not my favorite, but I found it anyway. So it says, the bird pictured on this card is looking out from what seems to be a cage. There is no door, and actually the bars are disappearing. The bars were an illusion, and this small bird is being summoned by the grace and freedom and encouragement of others. It is spreading its wings, ready to take flight for the very first time. The dawn of a new understanding. That cage has always been open, and the sky has always been there for us to explore. Can make us feel a little shaky at first. It's fine. It's natural to be shaky, but don't let it overshadow the opportunity to experience the lightheartedness and adventure on offer right there alongside the shakiness. Move with the sweetness and gentleness of this time. Feel the fluttering within. Spread your wings and be free. And then it goes on, you know, and it's really just talking about spreading our wings and flying, you know, soaring. So there's this freedom energy here that's present with this exhaustion. It's like freedom from the exhaustion. And sometimes that's just an inside job. You know what I mean? Like, it really actually almost, I mean, unless you really have, you have to work 20 hours a day to make ends meet. Well, that's a different level of exhaustion. And when it's your like basic physical needs that are at stake, that's different. But that's not really what I'm picking up on here. It's more like it's like the freedom of faith is what I'm getting here. If we can really just tap back into our faith. And this card did talk about encouragement and grace from others. So sometimes it's about getting support from other people in this process, even if it's just emotional support, someone to encourage you to keep going, or encourage, or supporting what you're trying to do, or whatever the case may be. Having supportive people around us, how helpful that can be. But at the end of the day, it's us giving us our own freedom, right? There is no bar there. That bird is free to fly at any time. But what I'm trying to get at, though, what I don't want to lose here is the message I'm getting here about like the weight of like the suffering that we can create for ourselves when it's all being driven by our thought patterns or our losing belief in something. Like, that can cause so much suffering. And if we can just renew our faith, get free from like these thought patterns that cause us so much suffering, letting all this like ego and fear stuff start getting really loud, that kind of stuff, it just causes so much suffering. And if we can free ourselves from that stuff, like that can just alleviate this exhaustion. That can, carry us through. But let's not forget the bigger message that we've received here. The bigger message that we've received here is to have faith and trust, and understand that we're in a period of gestation. Whoever is tapping into this collective, we're in a period where we need faith because we can't see what is going to be delivered, what is going to manifest, whatever, language you want to use for it, whatever we're growing. There's not evidence of it yet for this collective, and not much anyway for those that have some. And it's like, just remember why you did this to begin with, how you felt, what you wanted. And I feel like, the trust and the faith here is so big, because I feel like it alleviate a lot of suffering for a lot of people here. And like, not to give up on the determination, but the determination doesn't have to be so heavy. Like the hanging in there does not have to be so heavy. Like I said, unless it is one of those situations where I said, like you're working 20 hours a day, like that's hard. But even that perspective and mind shifts and mindset changes can help. It really can help. And getting support from other people can help, So hang in there, collective. Me too. We have to keep the faith. Things are happening, whether we can see them or not, things are developing. I think that's the biggest message for this collective here. Okay. I'm going to leave it at that. I wish everyone all the best, and I will see you next time.